Dr. Gonzalez, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you too. Thank you. Dr. Hagigut, can you do a sound check?
Sound check. I'm here.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, team. Can anybody hear me? I can hear you.
Oh, good.
Yay. Okay, just checking in. I'm here. Thank you.
Hello. This is Mike. Good to hear you.
You too. Hello, Mr. Manley.
Hey, Social, can you do a sound check real quick?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there might be some feedback though. Are you using two devices?
Yeah, I didn't realize that the other one was still on. Sorry.
You're probably just muted if it helps.
Yeah, that'll work.
Miss Valencia, if you're talking, you are muted.
Sorry. I was gonna use my cell phone for the Zoom meeting and then on the computer for the notes. Trying to.
We'll be patient. Go ahead and get settled. Who are we? Do we have everybody? Just wondering. I don't see Miss Erica yet. Let me reach out to her really quick.
Dr. Vink, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Was Mr. Carrillo going to join us this evening?
He sent me an email and he said that he was gonna be in a conference, that he was probably not gonna be hands-on. I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to log in to listen.
Miss Bueno, can you hear us? Mr. Anthony, can you hear us?
Rocky, yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, thank you.
You're welcome.
Super cool, Mr. Anthony.
Good morning or good afternoon. Good evening. What do we say? That's awesome, guys. Glad to be part of it.
I'm set up whenever you guys are ready to start. Please let me know.
I'm almost ready. I need one more second. I'm just
Yeah, no worries.
pulling up my tribal land acknowledgement to make sure that's read correctly, because I feel like I know it by heart by now, but then I go blank. So hold on just a quick second.
Ms. De La Rosa, can you hear us?
President Trujillo, I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Yes, and I couldn't get my
Oh,
window
okay.
thing to go down to take it off mute, and then my Alt A wasn't working. So my apologies. It is 7:03, I believe, so I'd like to call our board meeting to order. Our board meeting for February 7th, 2023. We will have our regular session and also an executive session later on this evening. So if we could have a roll call for attendance, Mrs. Valencia, that would be great.
Yes. Roll call this evening for Jessica Bueno,
Here.
Reggie Carrillo, Erica De La Rosa,
Here.
Alicia Vink,
Present.
and Ms. Carmen Trujillo.
Present here. Thank you. Thank you. With that, we do have a quorum and we are able to proceed. So with that, I will go to our tribal land acknowledgement. In partnership with the tribes who called Phoenix their home first, we acknowledge and respect the land our schools are built on. We commit to being a strong partner with any and all tribal nations who entrust their children to our schools. We are grateful and honored to be partners. With that, may we please have our Pledge of Allegiance, Dr. Alshire? If he's here.
Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry, I was changing my background because I wanted to actually have a flag present. So,
Thank you.
all right, there we go. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Alshire. Thank you. Thank you. With that, we'll move on to our adoption of our agenda. Do we have, Dr. Hagigat, is there any recommendation for the agenda this evening?
Good evening, President Trujillo, Vice President Bueno, members of the board and our community. Yes, I recommend that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adopt our agenda as presented?
Jessica Bueno, so moved. Alicia Vink, I'll second.
Thank you both very much. Mrs. Valencia, may we please have a roll call vote to adopt our agenda if there's no discussion?
Yes. Jessica Bueno,
Aye.
Erica De La Rosa,
Aye.
Dr. Alicia Vink,
Aye.
Carmen Trujillo.
Aye.
Thank you.
With that, our motion does pass and we will move on with our meeting this evening. Let's go to item A6, our awards, recognitions, and announcements.
Yes, thank you. I'm maneuvering a couple of different screens.
Please
so
take your time.
I will have the opportunity. Here we go. Okay, again, good evening, President Trujillo and governing board members to our community. Tonight, we have a number of celebrations to share with you. And to begin, I would like to invite Mr. Anthony Petrangeli, Kenilworth Principal, to share our first celebration. Mr. Petrangeli, are you with us and unmuted?
I think I'm unmuted and I am with you. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love talking about Phoenix One and super cool Kenilworth School. So thank you for this opportunity. But during the week of January 17th through the 20th, the Great Arizona Puppet Theater showcased a production of Imagine This. This production is a collaboration project with the Kenilworth students in grades 2 through 8. Each student was supported with creating an original story to be submitted into the contest. 2 winners in each grade level were selected in November, and then their stories came to life as a puppet show for the Imagine This production. Students in our peer program also created puppets, backgrounds, and props for the show. The winning student authors and their families attended an invitation-only live show, and all the Kenilworth students also viewed a live performance via field trips during the school day. Thank you to our neighbors at the Great Arizona Puppet Theater. They truly act like neighbors, and we appreciate them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Petrangeli, and it's so great to see the pictures of our students engaged in the arts, so it's wonderful. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Gonzalez to share an update on our Family and Community Engagement Specialist. Dr. Gonzalez, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Davila Hagigat. Our Family and Community Engagement Specialists have been hard at work. In December, they completed the ABCs of Family Engagement Training. Ms. Monica Cartiz, our Family and Community Engagement Coordinator, created goals and a checklist that included the domains and core competencies, the principles and core values that will assist all of our family and community engagement specialists as they work with our families and help to increase community involvement in our schools. We recently hired 2 new specialists, Salma Ballesteros at Bethune and Norma Talamante at Emerson, as well as the Family Center technician, Erica Graves. We're thrilled to have our new specialists at each school and looking forward to the work that these important members of our community do to support our families and our schools.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. And those are our celebrations for tonight. Thank you for giving us this time.
I'm going to remember to unmute. Thank you very much, Dr. Davila Hagigat. Thank you, Principal Anthony. I'm going to call you that because that's what I was introduced to you at when my daughter went to Kenilworth. And thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, for the information. With that, we will move on to our superintendent's report, item B1. The floor is yours, Dr. Hagigat.
Thank you. Today, it's a brief one, but a very, very powerful one. I'm actually celebrating our board members and the opportunity for having our community engagement events. We just came from our very first one, and I'm just very, very proud of what we've been able to accomplish as a team, and also very proud of our members going out to our community and receiving that feedback. So I also want to invite our families and community members to attend and engage in our future meetings. You have received the schedule. We're actually putting it out there, and you can pick it up as part of our supporting documentation today. And so our meetings are scheduled at our schools. While we are targeting different communities, all are invited that attend our Phoenix #1 and are part of our family. So please visit our website at phschools.org outreach for a list of meeting dates, times, and locations, or any of our schools will be able to share that information. The excitement just started today, and we look forward to several of the meetings that are coming up to March 2nd. So thank you. That's what I have today.
Unmute. Likewise, that thank you very much for the update. Yes, I am super excited. Just like you mentioned, we did have our first community engagement sessions this evening. Still processing the first one, so I'm glad that you're just excited as we are. So we'll move on to item C1, which is our board reports. Each board member, please feel free to speak up and share any reports you've got with the community. Briefly, I'll go really quick and want to definitely shed some light that it is Black History Month, a tradition that started back in the Jim Crow area. And I just want to acknowledge this space, since we do only have a board meeting once this February, that we aim to also honor the contributions and sacrifices that our Black community have endured and gone through and give us at our schools every day. So just wanted to make space for that. And definitely share that I am also extremely grateful for the time with our community that we have coming up. And definitely we do need some attendance at our meetings to make sure we do have the community's voice in mind and on board with our goals and guardrails, so that we, the board, and our collaboration with the superintendent can focus on our student outcomes and really get some systems in place. So we welcome you, but that's all I have. Any other board members?
Hi. Yes, I would like to share that I have recently accepted to be part of our Phoenix One Foundation. If you are not familiar with the foundation, they are a separate entity that is a nonprofit that provides support financially to some of our schools. And so I have been accepted the honor of being the liaison between the board and the foundation, and have joined the grants committee. So any site that is interested in applying for some grants and some support, please reach out to me so I can get you the application. Next, I did want to share that, again, reiterate that we did have our first student outcome focused governance framework meetings today. I was over at Magnet and was just so enthused by the conversation and just knowing that we have a lot of work ahead of us. And lastly, I did want to also, in honor of Black History Month, just wanting to pay honor and tribute to the contributions that Mr. and Mrs. Georgie Calvin Good have done in our community. And just wanted to also just share, the importance of recognizing the Black contributions to our community. So I will pass it on to the next board member. Thank you so much.
This is Dr. Vink. Congratulations, Vice President Bueno, on joining the Phoenix #1 Foundation. We absolutely appreciate you. I had the opportunity to attend the Aspirations Awards ceremony with board member Carrillo. That is from the Arizona School Public Relations Association. Very proud to receive an award for our entire governing board for contributions to public relations. We also received as a district two awards of excellence for our Phoenix #1 newsletter and the 150th anniversary self-guided tour of schools brochure. So huge shout out to all of our district team and to our governing board members for those awards. That's all.
Thank you very much. I wanted to rephrase my my report that we were over at HERD, Dr. Vink and I, and it was great. Of course, the attendance wasn't as high as we wanted it to be, but I did love that we had a student stick around to be supportive for parents that need assistance with the language barriers. And it was a real I don't want to say treat, but it was really, I was grateful that we have all the equipment that we do have at Phoenix Elementary to be able to surpass those language barriers and really just show up when we need to. We had 2 separate languages that we needed to translate into, and it was great to see the support from the student. And then he was actually not helpful, but shared some feedback with us. So that was sweet. So hearing no other board reports at this point, we can move on to item D1. Mrs. Valencia, do we have any community communications this evening?
We do not have any.
Okay. And of course, this meeting's a little different with public comment because we are virtual. So hearing none, we will move on to item E1, which is the approval of our consent agenda. Dr. Davila Hagigat, any recommendations or changes regarding the consent agenda?
No recommendations for changes at this time. I do recommend that we approve our consent agenda as presented.
Wonderful. Okay, let's see. My apologies, my wording slipped. Do we have a motion to approve our consent agenda as presented?
Jessica Bueno, so moved.
Alicia Fink, I'll second.
Thank you kindly, both of you. Any discussion? I don't have any personally. Okay, hearing none. Mrs. Valencia, may we please have a roll call vote to approve our consent agenda as presented?
Yes, of course. Ms. Jessica Bueno,
Aye.
Ms. Erica De La Rosa,
Aye.
Dr. Alicia Vink,
Aye.
Ms. Carmen Trujillo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, our motion does pass. Thank you all very much. We will move on to item F1, and I think I'm not too sure if we have Dr. Gonzalez or Dr. Davila Hagigat.
I will go ahead and start with
thank you
this
so very
one and then
much.
pass it on to Dr. Gonzalez.
Perfect, thank you.
We had our study session on December 21st where we drafted goals, and then we came back in January to continue and bring our drafts to a more finalized copy. And so upon reviewing and reflecting, we came across with EL for English language learners, change of language. And so for that, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Gonzalez so that she can share with you the change. Our purpose is to be fully transparent when these goals change as we are going out to our community and getting their feedback. So Dr. Gonzalez, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Davila Hagigat. This is a clarification in language that may be confusing and may feel like it's really nuanced, but because of the AZELA assessment, remember there are multiple levels of proficiency that our students go through, and recognizing that it takes a long time to develop fully proficient language skills in both reading, speaking, and listening. We wanted to make sure that the language that we used in setting the goal was very, very clear. The data that we had looked at showed that 30% of our students were currently passing one level of proficiency, at least one level of proficiency. And the goal that we had set was that we would increase by roughly 10% each year until we hit 70% by 2027. So in order to do that, we wanted to make sure that that was clear to our public, that it's not all students are fully proficient through all 4 levels of AZELA, but that they are passing at least one proficiency level annually. So the new goal would read, The percent of English learners increasing proficiency by at least one category as measured by Azella will increase from 30% on July 23 to 70% by July 2027.
Perfect. Thank you so very much, Dr. Davila Hagia and Dr. Gonzalez, for bringing this to the board, bringing this to the community as well, just to clarify, since this is the information that this is the drafted information that we are bringing to our community session. So I appreciate the transparency. It sets a good tone for this work that we've got going on. Are there any questions from board members? All right, hearing none, this is just my apologies, a discussion item. So with that, we can move on to our board reports and future agenda items. I'm sorry, board requests and future agenda items. Do we have any this evening?
I do have a request to get a board update on the facilities of Anat. We haven't been updated on what the lease currently looks like and the conditions of the property, and I would like to receive an update on that.
Perfect. Thank you,
This is
President Bueno. My apologies.
This is Dr. Vink. My request is just for a future agenda item to review our enrollments, policies, and processes.
All right, just for my own clarification, is that maybe like a presentation or a work study session? As far as
However, administration sees fit.
okay, perfect. I ask only because I think we've got our policy diet coming up in the next few months too, so that's gonna be a lot of work anyhow, but that part I'm looking really forward to. Okay.
President Trujillo, I'm interested in being able to get to this prior to the big push for preschool and kindergarten enrollment for this upcoming school year.
Perfect. Thank you. That's the kind of clarification I think I was aiming for. Okay. Got it logged. And I'm sure admin does too. Okay. Nothing further. Everybody's good to go. So we went through board requests and future agenda items. G1 and G2. Okay, we're moving right along. With that, we can move forward to action item. Let's see, H1. We do plan to adjourn to executive session. And we do not make any decisions while we're in executive session. Any decision making that will be done will be outside in the boardroom in a public space. We don't anticipate being longer than an hour. So once we adjourn to executive session, whoever would like to stay online, please stay. But to anybody else that will be leaving, we thank you for participating with us up until this point. And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn to executive session this evening?
Jessica Bueno, so moved.
Thank you.
Alicia Vink, I second.
Thank you kindly. Mrs. Valencia, may we please have a roll call vote?
Yes. Ms. Jessica Bueno,
Aye.
Ms. Erica de la Rosa,
Aye.
Dr. Alicia Vink,
Aye.
and Ms. Carmen Trujillo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. With that, we will adjourn to executive session at 7:25, and let's all exit out of this link, and then we will resume as soon as we come back. Thank you all very much. See you soon.
Mr. Manley. I gotta get to the executive session.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I'm in the wrong.
I was emailing Rocky to see if I need to be there as well, to see if there's a separate link. I think you're muted.
I do not believe that you do. Okay, bye.
Dr. Davila Hagia, are you still there? Rocky or MIS team? There was a message from Reggie Carrillo.
I will forward it to him, okay? This is
Sounds
Deborah.
good. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Wonderful. Looks like we're all here. Thank you. Thank you. The time is 8:21. And do we have a motion to reconvene to regular session?
Alicia Vink, so moved.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
Erica De La Rosa, I second.
Thank you. With that, we will resume to regular session at 8:22 p.m. To carry out our last agenda item, which is J1. Do we have a motion to adjourn our meeting this evening for February 7th, 2023?
Alicia Vink, so moved.
Thank you. Do we have another second?
Erica De La Rosa, I second.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mrs. Valencia, may we please have a roll call vote to adjourn our meeting this evening?
Sorry, forgot to unmute. Ms. Jessica Bueno,
She didn't join us back. Oh, and Mr. Carrillo's here.
okay. Mr. Reggie Carrillo,
Hi.
Dr. Alicia Vink,
Aye.
Ms. Erica De La Rosa,
Aye.
and Ms. Carmen Trujillo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. With that, our motion does pass, and we will adjourn our meeting at 8:23 p.m. Please join our community engagement meetings that you can up until our next board meeting, which will be held March the 7th at 5:15 p.m. at the district. So with that, thank you all for joining us this evening. It's great to see you, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.
Good night. Thank
We
you.
get to do
Everyone,
this
good night.
being brave. Good night.
Thank you, Randy.